Welcome to episode 323 of the Overlook Hour. I'm your host, Clark Little. Along with me, as always, is the man sitting across the table from me. Again, as recent tradition beckons, I will continue to describe what Russell John the Fisherman is currently wearing. He is wearing a brown shirt. I would say more of a chocolate brown. Do you feel comfortable with me saying that?
Sure.
And then,
you were confused about the color when I walked in the door today.
Well, because there was a lot of things going on. As we do know, we just hit daylight savings time. I'm used to seeing you in the dark.
Okay.
At all times, but we still had
You also play Wordle for colorblind people.
Oh, let me tell you something today. I usually play Wordle on my computer. Today I played Wordle on my phone. I did not have the colorblind set up on my phone, and I didn't realize it, and I missed today's word because I thought the words were in the right order, the letters were in the right order, and they were not. And I proceeded to throw my phone and then curse.
Yeah, I've never played Wordle. I don't understand how color works, and
we'll get into it. We'll do a special Wordle episode on the Overlook Hour. Also joining us is Oksana Valeriana Versace, who is not on microphone. We'll explain very briefly. Oksana, scream hello.
Hello.
That was actually pretty good. Also joining us, special guests. We have multiple. We'll explain their presence here shortly. Joining us from Atlanta, Georgia, is Randy Michaelstadt. Randy!
What up?
Nope.
All right. And heading back to Atlanta, Georgia, is Randy Michaelstadt. And also joining us is Madeline Kessner.
What up?
A.K.A. Marbles Craftwork.
Oh, I like
A.K.A. Mittens KitchenAid. A.K.A. Murder Death Koreatown.
Yes. Also, it's bark. That's the color.
Bark?
Yeah, if you bought paint and it was that color, it would be called bark.
I don't like that at all.
Too bad.
What is it? Come in here with this Bob Ross bullshit.
Yeah, I don't like this shirt.
Why don't you like the shirt?
It's dumb. Did you see what it's like?
You got it's a
skull and crossbones,
It's
but it's
Friday
a
the
hockey
13th.
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the canoe and paddles. It's dumb. That's why I wore it to work.
I think it fits.
All right.
Your motif.
That's the meanest thing you've said in a while.
What's wrong with this shirt? You think it's a dumb shirt?
Yeah, she definitely thinks it's a dumb shirt. She also called it bark.
That was most offensive.
Well, I was just naming the color.
She's got that New York aesthetic over here. She's going to teach us fashion.
I wear all black
Yeah.
and occasionally plaid.
Well, that's why Clark changed his button-up shirt today.
I changed because
You're doing a bit?
yeah. You know I change outfits. I change watches too. I got too many. I got to cycle these things out.
Okay, the thing we needed to talk about, that's fine.
Kevin.
It's the door opening? Yeah, it's the ghost.
It spooked me.
And Cosby.
No, we were talking about Gordon Ramsay, and I don't think they captured the platform with that new show.
You're talking about Next Level Chef that is available on Fox Network, Hulu next day.
Yeah, I don't know. Man, you watch it, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't do it for me.
What do you
I mean,
want?
that's 'cause it's
Do you
bad.
want murder?
The show's bad.
Do I want murder? I mean, it would definitely be more interesting.
What else do you? I mean, first of all, I'm going to make a safe assumption here that this is the first cooking competition show you've ever seen.
No, I
in your
used to
life.
watch Iron Chef when that was like.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a different
I mean, it's like a
grade.
competition cooking
but
show.
like Iron Chef has a status to it that is not similar
Yeah.
to what
What are your thoughts
Fox
on Alton
puts out.
Brown,
Who?
Alton.
the guy who hosts Iron Chef?
Oh, I have no. Oh, I don't know. I don't know it that well. My dad's one of
like
those
that.
dudes that like watches it all day.
Cooking show?
Yeah, like the cooking.
You'd think
the
he'd
Food
learn a
Network.
thing or two.
God.
That's right. Shots fired. Sean, come at me with your bare ass feet.
You know, he also changes his shirt all the time as like a bit that nobody appreciates.
For a Christmas party we had at your old house, he changed no less than 14 times.
Yeah, I know. It was.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it was not
Yeah.
funny.
Nobody paid attention to him.
That was it. That he kept
Yeah,
doing
that's
it.
the bit.
I
Yeah.
don't.
But we were making side bets on like, all right, is it going to be an Ozzy shirt or is it going to be Doctor Who?
Well, he was a good ghost face at Halloween. Nobody knew who he was. It was.
Everyone was happy.
It was kind of like Scream 3, where they cheated and brought a character from off camera. Yeah, Clark, you wouldn't know.
Never seen it.
Yeah, but that shit, I'm not into it, and the Gordon Ramsay worship is not something I'm into. We're like, oh my God, he's so famous, and he picked me on his team.
What are the team? I don't understand the team concept. Like, and then they're all like, we're the mentor, and they don't do it. It's so,
Yeah.
Well,
it's
because
like they took every rule possible and tried to use all of them.
they abandoned it.
Like within half
Yeah, they abandon it. And
Oh, they
like-
do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do, eventually.
And they never give it any, like,
Yeah.
it never had weight from day one.
You know what would have been cool is if
they killed them.
they had to live in the kitchen, and like the bad kitchen had like shittier beds.
And glass.
Yeah, it's like
Broken
Big Brother.
glass.
It's
Yeah.
Big Brother, but the
And
platform.
Mr. Glass.
And
So like part of it was psychological.
and Mr. Kevin. Whatever.
What? Mr. Kevin?
Kevin has 27 different personalities.
Oh.
From Split?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're in the same universe.
His name is
They are.
Kevin?
Yes, his name is Kevin.
That movie sucked balls.
I hate that movie.
which one was Split?
Exactly.
I hit REM cycle sleep.
Well, you
What's
watched
his
it with
name?
us.
James
though.
McAvoy?
James
Yeah,
McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
Yeah.
What was the one after that I never watched?
Oh, that one's really bad. Randy saw it.
Is that the like comic book one almost?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what that's called.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, what's that called?
Old Rips though.
Is it called Glass?
Old Slaps.
I hate old.
Old's good.
Why?
She was talking about people.
Bad.
Old was one of the best movies of last year.
No, old was really bad.
Did you read?
I need my calcium.
Dude, the Bone-itis death.
Bonitis
That part was pretty good.
Did you read the graphic novel?
I didn't read it, but I did read about it, and it sounds like it's also somewhat
It's
distasteful.
just it's so different.
Yeah.
It's like a bleak French examination of what life is.
Yeah.
And then you get Old the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, actually, I thought Old was a more effective like celebration of life than that comic book.
I mean, I think it's like anti-vax shit.
Oh, weird.
What, Old?
Yeah.
No.
Wait, no, play that out.
Medical industry conspiracy.
It does kind of seem like that towards the
Well,
end.
it
It's
is.
kind of weird.
Okay.
It was a bad time to make that and put that out.
Okay, do you think they're good guys? Big Pharma, dude?
No, but I don't think Big Pharma's doing that.
You don't think they're aging people on a beach?
I think that I hope they are actually. Now this is my fantasy.
Dude, the Bone-itis thing is my favorite ever.
What about,
death.
What about The Beach?
The beach!
Is that the hot movie with all the young people?
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
It's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Danny Boyle.
I remember Leonardo being in it. Did he ever sneak out a window in that movie?
Probably.
There's no windows on the beach.
I like Danny Boyle. I'm a Danny Boyle defender.
I'm a Boyle stan.
All right. Well,
Didn't he fuck Tilda Swinton in like a mosquito net?
Excuse me? Oh yes, no, that happens in The Beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were still talking about Danny Boyle.
No, I remember that was one of my early boners in
Yeah.
life.
oh, one of the few.
No, I used to pop boners all the time.
What happened?
I had a boner this morning, but I realized I had to pee. It was a pee
That's
boner.
unfortunate.
It's not the same.
It's very rare for him, Madeline.
I've heard.
All right. When was the boner prior to that?
No, I'm getting more boners with the diet. The better.
Oh,
diet.
really?
Dropped a
I'm
couple
telling you-
lbs and the blood's finding a way to get there.
The body reacts differently when blood can flow.
Even flow. All right.
Yeah.
So you two jerks are here because
Hell yeah.
Film festival.
this is the week. Rubber hits the road, baby.
Yeah.
14. We did it. Got a lot going on this week. So we are recording on Monday night. Festival, technically, we're doing a soft kick. Is that what we're going to call it tomorrow?
Pre-festival screening.
A pre-festival screening.
It's a punt.
Tomorrow night at which will be the night that you are listening to this. So if you're an early AM listener to the Overlook Hour, and believe me, I look at the data. I know that we got a lot of early riser listeners. Come join us at the Alamo, but more importantly, come join us Friday night at the Roxy for a 6 screening of
Base.
Go ahead.
Base.
Damn it.
I'm sorry.
When he strings the rope up like that, you let him hang himself.
He's one of the organizers. I can't let that. I can't. That's a bad
I was
look.
going to forgive me for speaking with cadence. Okay? I build tension. I build intrigue. and I'm interesting. Randy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I would agree because I have none of that, baby.
So what's Base about, Clark?
Base is about Richard Pryor when he was freebasing cocaine.
Nailed it.
I saw Base
Yeah?
in this house.
Oh, that's cool.
And
I've never
We
seen
spent
it.
$100 calling the director.
God, yes, I did.
He was in a shack in Syria or something. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Now
there.
he's in Sweden, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd like to go to Sweden.
I've been to Sweden.
What's it like over there?
Oh, I loved it. It was wonderful. It's like all surrounded by water, and then you
I
get
totally
on a
thought you were
tour
going to say
and you-
white people.
I mean, there's a lot of white people.
I don't know.
know.
Have you been to Switzerland?
No, I've never been to
I want
Switzerland.
to go to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Because they got watches.
God, you beat me to it. All right, so what are we doing here now?
We're here to talk post-mortem about yesterday. Because yesterday was a day. Now, if you are listening to this episode, you're hearing what we're saying. And you also have read what we have written. I haven't written it yet, but I will write it very soon. And then you'll notice that we're going to put, it's a secret movie. We didn't list in the metadata what movie we're talking about, but now we're about to talk about it. And the reason why it's secret, why is it secret?
Because it is very, very hard to get because it's only ever screened theatrically with, the maker because it's art. It's not a regular film.
All right, that's a great tease. So come out to Up 5. We have to officially start the show, so that will be a good tease. And
Wait, are we
I
not
do
gonna talk about
actually look at the metadata,
Yeah.
and we have a small core group that does listen to the show day of all the time. So please do come out. And the reason you mentioned Friday Base is because we're kind of like blind to those numbers. So we're just telling everybody, if you're going to dip your foot into the pool, go there.
It's also the big Roxy, not the little Roxy, which
Yeah,
has
for
a
sure.
lot more seats and a
right.
giant screen and great sound. So we want to get lots of people in there because that'll make it more fun. So you should be one of the fun people.
So dip that foot in the dead pool, baby.
All right, you ready to bring our guest in?
All right, yeah.
Our special guest. I don't know if Madeline's
And also,
ever met him.
we're gonna keep our listeners on more of a cliffhanger on what the secret.
Yeah. After
I've met him in person. I've shaken his
Oh.
hand.
The guy?
The guy, the guest.
okay, we'll see.
Oh, the guest?
Well,
I'm
let's-
assuming.
We'll ask him when he comes in.
Okay.
We'll see
All
if
right.
this checks out. All right. Go ahead. Let him in, Randy.
Good morning. It's March 14, 2022, and it's a Monday. Today I was thinking about the song Piece of My Heart by the version by Janis Joplin with Big Brother and the Holding Company
Yikes.
from the year 1968. Everyone, have a great day.
Hey, so do you know Madeline? Oh, well,
He left.
I guess we'll never know.
How
We
rude.
made eye contact. He acknowledged.
Was he wearing sunglasses?
Just now or
When you
then?
met him?
No, it was indoors at UPenn.
How was his hair?
It was a pompadour.
Exactly what you wanted to
Yeah,
do?
yeah, it was a gray white pompadour.
And just to double down on it, isn't he boring on the weekdays? We were kind of complaining how he gets in this weird loop on the weekends and talks about trains all the time or Putin. But I kind of prefer that.
Mr. President Putin.
All he said was he was thinking about a song.
I know.
And that was it. He didn't say what he was thinking. He said the year of the song.
Yeah, every now and then we record on a Monday, and when we fly him out, that's it. He'll just mention what he listened to on the way here and leave.
He didn't say anything about the work train.
Yeah, it wasn't the weekend.
Yeah,
it's the
it's Monday.
weekend work train.
No, but he talks about the work train in the weekday. Because you work during the week.
It's called the weekend work train.
There's a separate train.
No, there's not.
There's the commuter
trains.
train.
There's two tracks.
2 Chains is driving 2 chains.
Titty boy.
Oh my god! I just learned why he was called that. Were we
Josiah.
watching a thing together? Oh, it was,
Yeah.
yeah. Josiah came
There we
over.
go.
It was Joseline's Cabaret.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
and that's what we watched yesterday.
We don't have time. What a fucking shit show that was.
Obsessed.
Hey, speaking of shit shows,
Thank you so
Nice.
much.
It's a good segue.
All right, so what we're talking about is from 2013,
I think 14.
14?
but around then.
is a 5-hour and 18-minute experiment called The River of Fundament by artist Matthew Barney. Now, Madeline, a couple weeks ago, we told you that we had set this date specifically to watch this. We have procured it. We will not explain how we have procured it.
Dark web.
But we thank whatever medium that gave us this to view.
It was a dude on the corner at Eddie sold us 5 Blu-rays.
We had to download it in 3 separate parts, and there are 3 parts of the film. I think the part 1 is like hour 55. Then we got like an hour 40, and then an hour 30. So it chips away.
Randy, do the math on that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was roughly 5 hours and 20 minutes, like you said at the top.
Should have been 4.
I'm not a mathematician.
The first year we did the film fest, do you remember how I forgot a whole month of the year? And then you told me about it, and I felt so great. It was like a gift from God. I was like, wow. I felt the same way when we were doing like street team shit, like passing out booklets, because that's what we did that morning. And you're like, oh, it turns out it's not a 6-hour movie.
Yeah.
It's like 5 and 18.
Because we built it as 6, but it turns out it was 5:15.
Dude, it's same thing. I'm like, I just got 45 minutes back. It was
And the
incredible.
credits were 10 minutes long.
And I
That's
watched
true.
them. I watched all 10 minutes of those
Good for
credits.
you. I doubt he did.
There were no post-credit scenes.
Oh. Well, they didn't have that Marvel bump.
Yeah, right.
Could you imagine Marvel producing The River of Fundament?
No.
All right, so
Would have had less money.
now, Madeline, when I brought this to your attention, I failed to mention that this was Matthew Barney, and then when you made the discovery on the day of the screening,
Yes.
you freaked out a little
I
bit.
did.
You
I
were
got
like, this is Matthew Barney.
really excited, but in a way that I don't like him.
Yes.
Yeah, but I was still very excited because there's something fascinating. I compared him to Damien Hirst, who's like, Damien Hirst took a shark and put it in a glass box and was like, this is billions of dollars worth of art. And Matthew Barney does that with cinema, where he just does these insane, over-the-top, excessive shows of like money with sculpture and all that.
The Cremaster
cycle, yeah. Do you know what Cremaster is?
Indeed.
It's a muscle in the balls.
There we go. Okay, yeah, testicle muscle.
Yeah.
And Drawing Restraint 9, which is like the movie he did with his ex-wife Bjork, where they're on a giant oil rig and everything's covered in Vaseline. But he makes these
Vaseline.
movies, these experimental art movies, and then he tours with the print and with the sculptures that are in the movies.
So why do you hate him?
Just because his art's bad.
Because he runs a grift.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a very, very, very rich person who's really full of himself and like incredibly hyper masculine.
Well, I
Yeah.
think he fucking won.
I'm more of a Matthew Baby Bop fan myself.
Matthew Baby Bop.
That was for all the Barney fans out there.
I think he's originally from San Francisco as well.
Yes,
Oh,
he was
fuck
born
yeah.
in San Francisco.
Of course he is.
I think lives in New York still. At least he did when he lived
But
in New
he's
York.
not with Bjork anymore?
No, they broke up.
Why did they break up?
I think she said something along the lines of she didn't want to have normal sex. So she
Yeah.
broke up with him because he was not exciting in bed, I guess.
I enjoy anal fisting. It's a good
But
PR.
again, I find Matthew Barney absolutely fascinating, and his stuff is pretty fun to watch. So
Yeah. I knew Clark was going to be in and out of this movie when he pitched it to me as, I was imagining we could throw this on and kind of like come and go. And I knew I would probably be the only one there.
Well, also, your boy was cooking all day,
I know. And it was great. I was looking forward to
so I
it.
had responsibility.
Yeah, you did make a dump feast for the River of
I
Dump.
did.
Do you want to run through that? I know you're very proud of your concoctions.
I made chili dogs
And tots and burgers and dump cake.
and dump cake.
And the dump cake gave me diabetes.
Dude, let me tell you something right now. I didn't sleep last night because there was so much fucking sugar in that dump cake.
am I the only person who just was like, this is great, it's very sweet.
I
love
thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
But I also was like, oh no, I can't have another one of these.
Yeah.
And I wanted to.
Yeah.
It was a taste.
And then my left foot went numb. And I don't. So Madeline, you instantly were protesting the film. You're like, yeah, I don't like this. And then Clark was getting up and leaving, and it was me and Randy. I think.
Hell yeah.
Oksana, you just give me a thumbs up. Were you like falling asleep? I can't remember. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
She's saying maybe, which is a yeah.
I mean, I give the first 2 hours like my full attention.
You were there most of the time.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I'm gonna work on the film festival. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't deal with this anymore.
I think me and Randy were nodding at different points in the movie.
I was pretty awake for all of it except for the last hour and a half, which it was getting late, and I had been up since 4:20
Yeah.
EST that morning too. So I'm surprised I actually made it that far.
Yeah.
You did well. You did well.
I don't think anyone said what it's about.
What is it about?
I watched. Y'all watched the whole thing.
Yeah, but I know the beginning's your favorite part. You don't even want to run through that?
All right. So essentially, what we have here is the story of Norman Mailer, who is an author, and he dies and comes in a river of shit. And then he's got a child bride, and they're all Egyptian. And then Paul Giamatti pulls his dick out, and then he's like, look at the pig, it's a feast, it's a feast. And then there's a car salesman, and he's like, there's shit everywhere.
He does a sermon.
And then
that scene.
That's the best part of the
movie.
that was great.
Well, I mean, the movie's kind of a contrast between like self-important art and like a visual buffet, and also incredibly stupid, meaningless art and like poop.
Shit posting.
Yeah.
Also, we failed to mention, this is an opera.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's
there
an
is
opera.
singing. A lot of it is just people making noises with their mouths.
Yes.
Yeah, screaming on occasion.
And interrupting singing.
Sometimes there'll be
which is my
nice
favorite.
singing that gets interrupted by really bad singing.
Yeah, that may have been my favorite part. I really dug that song until he broke it up. Yeah.
Well, it would be like, well executed opera, and then their lyrics would be like trivial threats between two gods.
Yeah.
Right? Like what? It was like Set and who's the other one he was fighting with? I remember I was upset because I actually wanted Set to win that, but actually I think everybody was like out by that point.
Yeah,
that was the third part of the movie.
Yeah, I didn't get any of the
That
third
was the
act.
part where Horace? No, who? I can't remember. Randy, I'm looking.
I don't remember characters' names in movies that I love.
He was the one that fucked the head of lettuce.
Oh.
Wait, someone fucked the head of lettuce? I only saw someone eat the head of lettuce.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that
I
was
only saw
after.
the eating.
Yeah.
That was post-penetration.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of
that's
shit.
a lot. It's a lot of like people fucking things and close-ups on buttholes and people
a lot of
squeezing
buttholes.
things out of their
Anal
vaginas
penetration.
and-
I'm only
Yeah.
gonna fight back against that because I could imagine people finding this movie and hoping for that, and then finding that there's 4 hours of like
Of not that.
not of
Yeah.
any of honestly, I kind of like it when high art like becomes it turns into like a what is it, like an Ouroboros, or what is that snake that's eating itself?
Ouroboros, yeah.
And it's like when they were doing like a memorial in a library, and then you realize it's like, oh, this is like the Greek pantheon, and they're in a dungeon of knowledge, and it's like totally boring.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know. It's one of those things where I kind of like punishing film. So the fact that nobody enjoyed this thing, I kind of like that. Like I kind of like that movie exists, but like
it was sort of a bad time for me. Also.
No, totally. And
I mean, and I don't mean I was having a bad time. I mean, I had a lot of work to do.
And you were jet
for
lagged.
the film fest, and I was jet lagged. And
yeah. When you landed, I think we hung out till like 1 a.m. and I'm like, well, that's 4 a.m. your time.
And then the hours changed.
Yeah.
So I lost.
Oh, yeah, and then
even more
daylight.
sleep. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why Clark keeps talking about moving to Arizona.
Nope. That we've never had that
He's
discussion.
like, we never have to change the clock. I can be closer to Q. He's like, it's a win-win.
I mean, now that you're naming all the positives, it's hard to dispute.
So yeah,
Is that Q mixers?
So Giussati showed up 2.5 hours late. Giussati Perkins, our East Bay cinematographer friend, and he immediately went on Letterboxd and talked shit about the movie. And I was
Did
like,
he?
I feel like you didn't earn that
Did
right.
he?
Yeah.
He did.
Giussati.
So I commented.
I only did it after he did.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Like if you struggle and abandon and come back, whatever. Like the attempt was there. But I'm like, dude, you missed a whole chapter of the film, the longest
Yeah.
one too.
He
Probably
missed
the best one.
The two best parts. Yeah.
Ooh, I don't. Okay,
The
so
opening.
3 parts. I know Clark had flip
Oh,
flopped.
the opening.
The opening.
Yeah, I'm
All right, let's talk about the opening.
okay. Which one? Back door, front
It
door.
opens up with Matthew Barney himself is covered in caked poop. And he finds his way into a restroom.
He looks like an old prospector.
He 100%. That's in fact
Yeah.
what we called him. In fact, at the beginning of the movie, Russell was actually in the kitchen, and we were doing play-by-play. And I was just saying, old prospector walks into a bathroom, goes to a toilet. There's a turd in the toilet. He picks up said turd, puts it. Then, as we all know, we have all been in many, many bathrooms in our life. And I know that in every single bathroom that we go into, there's gold leaf in the bathroom.
I think he brought it with him.
I thought it was on a shelf above the toilet.
I don't know. Look, the movie's already transforming our memories
I
now.
do not remember where the gold leaf
It was
came
on a
from,
shelf of
just what
sorts.
he
Yeah.
did with
Yeah.
it.
So he grabbed gold leaf on a shelf because why not? It's a nice party favorite. And he puts this, what I'm going to call borderline dehydrated turd. This was a very,
I don't know. It
very-
looked like a healthy turd to me.
It just had the wrong weight. It looked fake.
Yeah. It didn't look like a real turd.
It looked gigantic.
That's what
The
I'm saying.
weight of turd.
Yeah. I mean, if I could make a movement like that, I'd be very.
Have you ever been on ratemypoop.com?
It's been a long time.
Do you think that Matthew Barney calls his work movements?
John Cage does.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I'd be really disappointed if I found out that Matthew Barney was like that self-aware and like kind of put that movie out and was like, oh, I hate this movie.
Oh, no, I doubt that. I think he
Yeah.
probably loves it. But I do think that there is some... Like, I do think he's trolling to a degree.
Okay.
Like, I believe that. But I also...
Well, that's great.
yeah.
I don't know. You already got me primed to not like him. Now I'm like, I don't want to, but I feel like if he's trolling, I kind of like
If
that.
you
I mean,
can
I think
shit
a
on,
little.
if you can
know.
shit
Yeah.
on the art world while take their money at the same time,
There's
But
something
is
cool
he
about
making
that.
money?
You're winning.
It's not
Yes.
screening anywhere.
Uh,
Or you can't even like
bro,
VOD it.
poor people don't marry Bjork, dude.
I mean, I imagine it when he does a tour with that and has the whole sculpture thing.
To like
he's-
rent that,
He's
to like
probably
book that movie.
Yeah, making an insane amount of money just doing that, and he's getting grants.
What's he
and-
with Kino? Remember when we tried to get a Diary of David Holtzman, and they're
mean-
like, "We want $8,000."
Yeah.
It was like, for what?
So
He probably owns it.
the reason why
You're
we
gonna
do
provide the crowd too? What the fuck?
the reason why the opening is so important because it sets the tone for the whole film. And it's definitely very tongue-in-cheek at this juncture because he takes the turd that he's pulled from the toilet, he puts gold leaf around the turd, and then he puts it back in the toilet. And that's exactly what this movie is. It's a piece of shit wrapped in some pretty shit. And then the camera turns, and then behind him we see a figure that has, and the toilet is no longer there. So the toilet has now turned into a man, and now the man disrobes, and we see his penis, and on his penis is the gold leaf. So therefore, the shit has turned into a penis, and then maybe he sucks it.
Well, I mean, you know,
No, if
There's
Yeah.
anal intercourse.
he
fucks
him
And then Mercury comes
yeah,
out.
yeah, he puts the poop back in. See, he worshipped at the altar and gave it a sacrifice, and was rewarded with the return of the sacrifice. It's all in the Bible, dude.
And I gotta say, if the whole movie was like that, like just like that,
Yeah.
it would be my favorite movie on earth.
Well, I think, you know, if it was like, I think I agree with you. And
Yeah.
if it is trolling, then, you know, part of it is there is a lot of great technical skill, but there's nothing. It's hollow.
Yeah.
The whole movie is hollow.
Yeah.
From the music to the imagery. Like, dude, the end of the movie is anticlimactic. Like,
Very,
right?
yeah.
Like, I remember we were watching it and it starts turning into
Turn it like a Terrence Malick, just like
Yeah.
shots of nature.
Yeah.
and stuff
which
like
the
that,
movie's
yeah.
kind of claustrophobic. Like we're
It
in
is,
that
yeah.
library a lot. We're dealing in like, I don't like, what was that MMA match in like a car repair shop? Like I actually kind of like that, but
that
it
was cool.
It meant like nothing. It was like cool looking, but it's like, what are we doing?
Well, everything looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Even the poop?
Poop looked pretty good.
I think the poop. It's funny because the poop like loses any effect or meaning like 2 hours into that movie, and then you have like 3.5 hours left.
What did you think about the runny poop coming out of the butthole?
That was like a paint enema.
It was.
Yeah, I think it was like a water-based paint enema.
Also, it was a very light brown.
It
Yeah.
it reminded me
green.
of 2 Girls, 1 Cup,
Yeah.
where it's like fake. Remember, like everybody's like, "Oh, it's fake," and it's like, yeah, it probably is fake. It looked like that kind of poop. I watched 2 Girls, 1 Cup on a Wii.
On a what?
On a Wii. The Nintendo Wii.
How's that even
Oh my
possible?
god! I had no idea what you were
It took me
talking
a
about.
second too. I was like, huh?
No, he watched it in a Wii Work.
No, it's just it's funny to me
On a Wii and a Wii work.
because Nintendo is the company that developed software so that you couldn't draw a penis in any form.
And then they let you use YouTube on it.
Yeah, and it's like when I watched 2 Girls, 1 Cup, but on your DS you can't draw a dick. Yeah, I was like, take that, Nintendo.
Won't let you draw a penis?
Yeah, they put a lot of effort into developing that software so that it would prevent it.
That's why.
I don't know, but I also learned a statistic about how America is the leading cause of penises being drawn on any digital form.
Of course.
I know, and again, we have your art up on the walls, so I'm
Yeah.
very familiar.
Penis is at the heartbeat of my heart.
All right. Well, I mean, we do have an incredibly long movie.
Which is why I think that I'm on board with Matthew Barney and whatever he's doing. If he wants to troll, I'm down to troll.
I think the length of the film is the only reason why I kind of like it. Because if this was like a 40-minute movie, I think it would be like not even worth mentioning.
I think if it was a 40-minute movie that was just all the parts that were kind of interesting,
Yeah.
then I think
Yeah.
it'd be amazing. Yeah.
I don't know. I like
Also,
a punishing film.
Let us be very clear here. There is buckets and buckets of money
Yeah.
that went into this.
I did not know where you were going with that.
Yeah, there
It
was-
could have been a number of things.
There is a single scene that is rumored to have cost $5 million.
How many extras do you think were used in this?
What year was this made? Y'all said like 8 years ago?
Yeah,
Yeah,
somewhere in
2013, 2014-ish.
It's $5 million that much?
For one scene?
Yeah. I mean, like, again, I was...
Sounds like a lot, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well,
there's no
not
studio.
produced by studio.
okay.
Russell, I
Yeah, you
think
put it
this
in that
movie has made
context.
$13,000.
Yeah, but if he's like some weird Russian oligarch with a ton of money, I'm like, because Marvel...
He's a male model.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, Clark bought a car off a male model.
No, wrong.
Oh, he bought your car.
He bought my car. Thank you.
Was
very
it
much.
Matthew Barney?
He still-
And is it in the movie?
He still owes me money.
Oh, but he got you a job, didn't he?
But kind of.
All right, we don't have to talk about
We
it.
don't-
The male model paid you to do something.
My favorite thing about that, though, every time he would come, he was a family friend.
Oh,
And he came
isolate that.
He came to the house one time, and he would always try to give me workout tips.
Oh, dude, this story rules.
I love this story. And he grabbed a broom.
Was this in the River of Fundament?
Yes. He grabbed a broom. And he's like, "Bro, you want to work on your sides, man? Like, grab this and do crunches, like right here." And then you go, "Dude, you do 40 here, 40 there. That's a hundo, bro." I couldn't. Oh God.
I love that story.
40 here, 40 there. That's a hundo, bro.
Yeah, but how good did he look?
Very good.
All right, so fuck it.
Also,
it's a
there,
hundo.
there were pictures in the apartment because he used to live in that apartment before we moved in there. Still, there were he modeled for Calvin Klein.
Mm-hmm.
So many pictures of his dick
What? What ads are those?
in underwear.
Oh,
But like you could see it.
You see helmet, you see shaft, you see balls.
that's why you left him up.
Nice piece. Nice piece of business.
All right. Well, what would you rate River of Fundament?
I mean, unwatchable?
Oh, so like 1?
No, for what it was, and I took it in the way I thought I would take it in, anally.
Again, your choice of words. this
And
episode.
I don't know. It's what I thought it was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
It surpassed my expectations, in that I did enjoy some things. That car salesman scene was incredible.
Yeah, it was
There
really good.
were really, really good things here, and also there was a bunch of nothing. but I also think that is by design here. And I think this is, for what it is, an interesting talking piece that no one gets to see or will see. And I think that it was cool that we got to do it.
Yeah. Thank you, Dark Web. So what would you give it?
I can't rate art, dude.
Come on.
I give it 3 turds.
A 3?
Nice.
Weird.
I give it a 5 out of 10. True neutral.
So a 3? Okay.
Yeah.
Randy?
Probably right about there as well.
So
2.5 to 3.
I thought y'all didn't like it though.
It was fine. I think it kind of is what it is. It was kind of what I expected it to be.
Act 1 is great.
Yeah, Act 1's really good.
You know, I want to agree with you, but I can't remember any of it. And I was making an effort to watch that movie, and I'm just like, what?
I mean, that's sort of why I'm giving it like a neutral. Like, there's things about it I really enjoyed.
I would
it's
rewatch.
A little long. It's just not.
Yeah, I'm not pushing back on the neutral rating. I just wanted to see, because I think that fits in with my theory of how I review films, where that is a 3 movie, because it's like, yeah, I watched it and I would not watch it again.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it.
That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. That fits in with my thing. I just wanted to see if you were going to do it. Randy going 2.5 though. That, like, would you actually, like, whenever I think 2.5, I think I would try and talk people out of watching that movie a little bit.
2.5 out of 5 or 2.5 out
5.
of 10?
5.
Out of
That's
5.
a 5 out of 10. That's what I
Yeah.
gave it too.
I mean, I think the only people that I would ever recommend this to are in this room and watched it.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else that like cares to watch a 5-hour movie in general.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know.
Was it better than the 8-hour Filipino movie?
No. That's better. Satan Tango's better. Satan
like,
Tango has more art to it.
You're like,
and it's
it needed
also very long.
2 more hours. Then it would have been up there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It also feels like it probably played like art galleries, and like maybe parts of it are meant to be like walked in and walked out of, like kind of like what Clark did. Like it feels like there's room for you to just like see parts of it. Like it might not all be necessary.
Yeah, like a background movie to set like tone.
I mean, I think it was like projected in a theater in like an art museum.
Yeah.
So like you would see it in like MoMA.
You'd be like, oh, interesting, and then leave.
Well, no, I think people would pay a lot of money for tickets and sit there and watch the whole thing straight
I'm sure
through. Yeah.
many people did, yeah, but it
No,
seems like it
I'm
has
pretty
room
sure that's
to
the
like
intent.
Yeah.
Like for people to sit there and watch the whole thing straight through with the intermission.
And then when you go to
Yeah.
the bathroom, they shame you.
Yeah.
It's like, you're missing art.
I don't know. I think Stalker feels longer for me than this does.
I
No,
love
no way.
Stalker.
Stalker rules.
Stalker's
Stalker
so good.
fucking sucks.
Sitting
dude.
there
And Stalker's
watching
Russian, so it's banned.
Stalker is a religious experience. It's
Yep.
yeah.
God, y'all jerk off with your science fiction nerd bullshit.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, well, okay. We got a couple of Russians going in a cart, and it goes from black and white to color. I don't
Here we
give a
go. I
fuck.
got something
What's
for
this,
you.
Wizard of Oz bullshit?
There's an anime based on Stalker, except it's 2 lesbians, and they
Now we're
are really
talking.
into each other, but like don't know how to say it yet. What do you call that? Like Yuri or Yowie or something?
What?
Yowie's 2
Yowie?
boys.
Then it's Yuri.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
it's,
Yuri.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, lesbian.
But
little girls.
what kind of lesbians we talking about? We talking, lipstick lesbians? We talking
Yeah.
bikers?
One of them's real pretty, like real girly, and the other one's like, oh, I'm not pretty, but is really pretty,
Nah, I got a Stalker movie for you. The guy that stalked Bjork, he filmed all of that leading up to it. So
I showed you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard to watch.
I've been listening to Ice Cube. Or wait, not Ice Cube. Sugar
that's
Cubes.
Ice-T.
Oh yeah, the
Sugar Cubes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ice Cube. It's a
They're
really
close.
different genre. Sugar
Yeah.
Cubes are great.
So I've been thinking about her a
I
lot.
like Bjork.
Yes.
Are you ready to see her in The Northman?
I don't know what that is.
Good. That's why I like having you on here.
It's the newest film from Robert Eggers.
Oh, I do want to see that.
Are you egg over ass?
Excuse me?
Robert
do you like
Eggers
more?
and Ari Aster.
Oh, egg all the way.
Eggs over
Aster
ass.
is a
Clown.
My opinion of Aster is he's one of those kids who, when he was growing up, everyone told him what a genius he was all the time. Like, oh, you're so smart. You're such a great boy. You're the golden boy. You're so genius. And he's taken that energy with him into his filmmaking career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and
get
we
that.
saw it when Midsommar came out. Because Midsommar is a pile of shit.
That's the one of his movies that I enjoy.
You didn't like
It's a fucking
Hereditary?
drug. I hate Hereditary. I walked out of Hereditary.
Hereditary is great.
Hereditary is so unnecessary and gratuitously cruel. Yeah.
So what? A girl gets her head knocked off. She deserved it.
God damn it.
I loved Hereditary.
I mean, it wasn't that. It was the reaction to it that her mother had. Listening to a mother screaming over the death of her child.
It's Toni Collette. She's Australian. You don't know what they're going to do.
Also, Matthew Barney helped with the director's cut of Midsommar. That's why it's 8 hours long.
Oh, now while we talk about
It's only like 30 minutes longer.
Okay. I wish that was true.
saw it in
I was
theaters.
I was ready to watch it.
now, Randy came
Midsummer's
in.
funny as fuck. Okay.
Again, we watched this on Sunday. Randy came in around 10:30 a.m. on Sunday. I picked him up from the airport. Randy, talk about how immaculate my timing is.
Precise. I walked out maybe 30 seconds before. I didn't have to wait at all. It was good. We went and I got a breakfast burrito, and then we hung out and watched St. Bernard before.
Yeah, I did offer in our group chat to pick him up, and then I could feel both of you were like, no. Randy didn't want me and Oksana to show up there.
I mean, you said like, yeah, that might be possible.
I
or
was like,
something
we
that.
could get you.
It didn't sound like a for sure thing.
It's fine, Randy.
I'm
it
a
only hurt
good
a little bit.
airport picker-upper.
We were on our way to Berkeley when you landed. We weren't going to get you.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what your guys' plans were.
Yeah, this was like a week prior. Yeah.
So the film we watched, St. Bernard, which is a movie that you've been telling me to watch this for a while, and then we were trying to figure out something to watch. Now, the first movie Randy had picked out, we were going to watch it because I got tumescent. That it's a fancy word for saying hard at the thought of watching it because we were going to movie cuck Russell and we were going to movie cuck him hard because the movie that Randy picked out was Sorcerer from William Friedkin.
It's one of the
already
greatest
watched it.
movies
I know.
of all time.
It was going to be
I haven't seen it.
double Russell
It's
cuck.
so fucking good. Yeah.
Again, we need to workshop that segment. The
Sorcerer-
premise just doesn't work.
Sorcerer is the only non-horror movie that ever made me scream out of fear.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy, Gurgle Town. Oh man, I did a David Lynch on microphone. If I keep my mouth just open, the demons will find a way out. Sorcerer is a horror film. I don't care what you say.
I mean, yeah,
It's
but it's existential
terrifying.
horror.
Sure.
Yeah, it's an existential horror.
Package
film.
it however you like.
Yeah.
Sorcerer is incredible. And we need to get you two boys on board on the freaking train.
It's true.
Also, there's a YouTube clip I want you to see about
On the
Freakin'
truck.
talking about how he did the scene with the truck going over the bridge.
Yeah, not on the train. You gotta get him on the truck.
Oh, it's very good.
Isn't it a kind of a remake of Wages of Fear?
Yeah, which is based on a book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like a The Thing situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
But as it turned out, St. Bernard was Randy, this was a good double feature we had.
Yeah, it worked well, for sure.
Because the director of St. Bernard worked with Matthew Barney on several of the Crewmasters, and then also former guest on the show, Jim Ojala, worked on St. Bernard. He was an actor.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because St. Bernard's incredible. It's Terry Gilliam-esque. We get a little bit of that sort of nihilistic. Randy, I'm losing my train of thought here. What's our guy's name?
I don't know. Lars von Trier.
No,
Keep guessing.
Who's another nihilist?
Leos Carax.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we get a little bit of that nihilism there. Also, hints, little kisses of Quentin Dupieux, a little bit of that. Some slapsticky parts about, for example, the van running over the homeless woman, and then the man with no legs coming out and pouring salt on her wound. So
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, it really felt like a Terry Gilliam movie with no
Yeah.
budget. Except they pulled it off.
It looked good, though.
Yeah,
It
no,
looked-
it's incredible.
it looked incredible.
Well, I mean that in the way that we were talking about Barney to Marvel. This feels like, Terry Gilliam to an indie film. It's hella cool, though. I covered that. I'm looking at it right now on episode 237. So is that almost 100 episodes ago?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, thanks for catching up, bro.
Beautiful release by Sever.
Well, I have the longest relationship with this movie, and I still have not seen it.
Wait, so does that mean you win or lose?
I lose.
Okay.
It took him 100 episodes. It's taken me a decade.
Yeah, but you saw the raw chicken.
I did.
footage.
I met Gabe Bartalos in Los Angeles at some event, and I was like, I'm such a fan of your work. And he's like, come check out my studio. I'm like, are you kidding? He was not. So he gave me a tour of the studio, showed me like a bunch of stuff he was working on, and showed me some of the raw footage that they were shooting of St. Bernard.
You know what's interesting about that is that movie feels like every turn, because it's kind of like an adventure, like all the locations they go through. At every point, it's got that indie magic where you're like, holy shit, there's another room. And every time it's a reveal, and every time it's still like impactful, which is completely the opposite of River of Fundament, where you kind of, it's got this budget looming over it, and you're like, they could do anything. And then you're watching it, and you're like, they're really not doing anything.
They just coat the inside of an ambulance with gold leaf. That's what they chose to do.
That was
Except
cool.
that felt like something that could have happened in St. Bernard.
100%.
Where they're like, oh, they literally coated that ambulance, except it would have been more impressive.
Yeah.
Just because you're like, they didn't have that budget.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting... I'm surprised you guys still liked River of Fundament so much, because I feel like that would have hurt it.
I mean, I
following
wouldn't call
St.
that
Bernard.
so much. For
I
me,
know.
a mediocre rating is the worst I can give it.
Thank you. I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think 3 is worse than a 1.
Yeah, I feel the same way, because
You
at
know,
least
that's-
1 means there's some emotion behind that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel something about this movie.
What's a 1 for you?
A 1, for the most part, a 1 is almost a non-movie.
Like
Yeah.
what?
So here, you want to know what a half-star movie is to me?
What makes you
Hereditary.
mad? Like, if we brought it up and you're like,
Puppet Master, the Fangoria one.
oh, is that...
with Zoller?
Oh, the
Yeah.
Zoller. Yeah, I remember
Actually,
you didn't
know
like
what?
it.
Zoller.
Yeah, she doesn't like Zoller.
I hate him.
I'd buy him for Zoller.
Oh my god.
We're pro
Holler.
Zoller on the show, young lady.
But back to Gabe Bartalos.
Yeah.
So I was like such a fan of his because of his previous movie, which he made way before, which I have a vague memory of making you guys watch. Skinned Deep
Oh,
with
yes.
Warwick Davis.
Warwick
I don't
Davis
know.
also in St. Bernard.
Yeah, they're friends. And he plays a character named Plates who wears all white and throws plates at people. That he's got like a plate backpack, and he pulls plates and throws them. That's Plates.
Sounds like my granddad.
Who put that movie out?
Fangoria.
Okay, that's
It
why.
was
okay.
a Gore Zone release
I
in
remember
like
it.
the early 2000s. Yeah.
You know, I owned it, and I remember watching it like right when it first came out, and I just.
Oh, there was definitely a drunk night where I forced us to watch it.
Oh yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember. God, I don't remember either time.
Oh man.
I own it though. I mean, I'll rewatch it.
There's
Now-
a guy whose name is like Brain, and he's just got a giant swollen head, and then when he dies, his head breaks open,
Yep,
and
Brain.
alphabet letters come out, and they say "I love you."
That's sweet.
It's so good.
Yeah, we should watch it.
Let's do
I'm
it.
down. Also, we should watch the movie. Shout out to our beer sponsor, who again hooked us up with a bunch of beer, and then gave us 2 DVDs that he had of a film he had made in like 86 or something.
And what did it teach us?
Oh, what was the tagline?
That Satan has the best tits.
I mean, after watching Joseline's Cabaret, I don't know.
Joseline might be Satan.
Cabaret. Ooh la la.
Yeah, so we got to watch it. What was that movie called? I was
God.
so taken aback that he had them that I can't remember.
Now I'm blanking on it too.
It's not a
It
big
had like
deal.
a kind of giallo-y sounding
The
title.
Godfather Part 2.
He did like somewhere between like a nunsploitation name and a giallo name. It was something like that.
Yeah, we'll have to cover that in the future. But again, do you guys have reservations for a restaurant?
Yeah.
Randy, won't you handle this punchline?
No reservations.
Thank you so much.
Well, what time is it?
See, we're classic vaudevillian act over here.
See, look, Oksana's doing the producer work that we just wish Randy would do. He never corrects us on anything, and we just like hang
I
ourselves.
get yelled
up
at when I do correct though, so I give up.
Would that be a correction right there? The movie's called Blood Orgy of the Leather Girls.
There we go.
good.
I mean, how could you forget that title?
Leather, blood orgy. I think I was.
Also, Randy's in studio talent this week, so he
Also, Randy punked us out after the last episode we recorded.
Did
I can't remember what it was. But when was... Clark, you don't remember him scolding us on the fucking video call for like an hour?
Clark mentioned something about Spielberg ruining Eyes Wide Shut
That's
after
right.
Kubrick died, which did not happen. He ruined AI.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all,
That is true.
We were
not
talking
true.
to Sarah?
It's very true.
It's true.
not true.
Yeah. I mean, someone ruined
Kubrick
AI.
gave the final cut days before he died.
He directed parts of Eyes Wide Shut. It's not out there for the public consumption.
He's making
This is
this
how
up.
They've tried to
misinformation gets
they,
spread.
Yeah.
They swept it under the rug.
Yes.
This was an early Q drop, guys.
Q mixers?
This was an early Q drop.
It was Ruinon, dude.
They make great elderflower tonic.
Yeah, that was definitely during the Sarah Peterson one where we were talking about the
Yeah.
Zand order. And I agree
And then
with
I
Randy.
schooled you guys on where the term gaslight comes from. It does come from the movie, which may have also been based off of a book. And that is where the term comes from. And then someone said something about a
AI.
scale of like feminist movies, and I told you guys about the Bechdel test. Those three things
I
happened.
know about the Bechtel test.
Nobody
okay,
could
I
name
was
it,
like,
though.
you didn't know about the Bechdel
No,
test?
I wasn't paying attention.
The Bechdel test is like
I know
saturated.
about the rectal
Yeah.
test.
Yes.
It's called River of Fundament. There we go. All right, Randy's yelling at us again. I think we need to stop.
All right. The time is near.
God damn it.
And by near, I mean now. So what I need everyone to do, I need you to go outside of your window. I need to open up your window, and I need everyone to say, I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. And also tell your neighbor to buy tickets for Friday night at the Roxy and buy badges. We do need your stinking badges. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Thank you, Randy. Madeline, take us home.
Why?
Good night.
Oh, yeah, I got to end it.
Wait, is that real?
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Overlook Hour. And if you would like to hear more, please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever your podcatcher of choice is. And while you're there, go ahead and give us a rating and or a review, which is a very easy way for you to support this show that we bring to you every week for years now, free of charge. And as always, you can find us on YouTube at The Overlook Theater, Instagram at The Overlook Theater, Facebook at The Overlook Hour, and Twitter at The Overlook Hour. Last but not least, you can send us your emails and tell us how much you like or dislike the show at overlookhour@gmail.com. And if you're nice, maybe we'll read them on the show. I've been your engineer, Randy Stat. Please join me along with Clark, Russell, and Oksana again next time. Bye.